The captain and crew know exactly where the ship is going and how long it will take. It has a definite goal, and 9.99 times out of 10,000, it will get there. The human mind is much like a farmer's land. The land gives the farmer a choice. He may plant in that land whatever he chooses. The land doesn't care what is planted. It's up to the farmer to make the decision. The mind, like the land, will return what you plant, but it doesn't care what you plant. Everything that's really worthwhile in life to us free. Our minds, our souls, our bodies, our hope, our dreams, our ambition, our intelligence, and our love. And children and friends and country, all these prized possessions are free. Success is not the result of making money. Earning money is the result of success. And success is in direct proportion to our service. Your world is a living expression of how you are using and having used your mind. My brothers and sisters, these quotes, if examined, if applied, can cause us to change our life. But the most important thought, as we mentioned earlier, the most important thought is God and his son, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. So to be able to hear God is to know that he cares for you. So remember, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Here we are, and there we go. The boys are back in town. We're here for another rendition of David Way. Yeah, the Shindig. David Way stars the stories of the Kaz Walker Show. Lots to talk about today. Good morning, guys.
I wish you'd have been there Monday night. One of the best shows on earth.
I know, and I didn't get out till I was at my doctor for 3
Noah Peters, the guy that
hours, I reckon.
What's that he's on? American Idol.
American Idol. Is it American Idol? American Idol.
Yeah,
he's on American Idol, still on there right now, and you guys had him out at Wild Wings.
And his family, his daddy and his brother sang good as he does, all 3 of them. Oh.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, I know that's what Noah said. That little girl is on American Idol, too, with him, I think. And he said, you better enjoy her some now, so you can pay to see her. And she was good, young girl.
He said, this is the only time you'll ever get to see her play for free.
Yeah.
Wait, was she there with him? Was she there with him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Here's another one on it.
Yeah.
Well, Jiminy Christmas, you star-studded with, all of y'all.
Out in the half, but we've been hitting them crowds just like that. The week
Oh,
before
yeah.
that, just standing outside.
Yeah, sure was.
I mean, the month before that.
Gee
Somebody
whiz.
asked me, said, "Is there always crowd like that here?" And I said, "Yeah, when David's here."
Yes. That's
Well,
true, though.
Well, it's like this hard when they're hot.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I think it might be? I'm getting up into years, and they probably think it might be my last show.
Well, I think it's, no, you should do the variety of stuff. You don't do mashed taters.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Do a little bit of everything.
Unless you're a group, you just get to do one song at a time.
like Eddie Arnold said, you go to one of them bluegrass festivals, you leave and you come back, said it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first song, life song, and said you ain't missed nothing in between.
Well,
Boy, they could put it on, though, couldn't they?
Oh yeah, there's.
They got their barbershop down there. When you go down and cut hair, they sing to you while they cut your hair.
so they actually have a real barber shop,
Oh
too.
yeah, he's a barber about living. That's his living. Now.
Was. Was.
Which is what LE's too. That's
Yeah.
LE and them. That's was their profession as barbers. And of course, David was a barber too.
Yeah. He's still got his barber stuff up in his garage.
My uncle used to call me, come in and sit down and give me a shingle up. I don't know what that meant, but he always wanted a haircut when he said that, so I just cut his hair.
There you
Billy
go.
and Larry wasn't cutting hair. They're sitting, picking and singing stuff.
That's amazing.
As bad as Fred Smith said, you know, I don't understand some of these words. Said, Monroe, he's telling Monroe said they're doing a comedy bit, and he said, is a rabbit and a hare the same thing? He said, yeah, oh yeah. I said, a rabbit and a hare. So some people call them hares, and some people call them rabbits. And Fred said, well, I sure hate to walk into the restaurant and cook me up a big old plate of hare, wouldn't you? He said, I don't think I'd like that. So, he said, but it might be worse if I walked in the barbershop and told him to cut off my rabbit.
Yeah.
Old
Leave.
Freak can make him up, couldn't he?
Oh yeah.
It came natural, didn't they?
Yeah, it did for him.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he wrote a lot of hee-haw stuff.
Yeah.
Before where they used to come and pick it. He lived in one of my apartments, and they'd come over and give him, back in the early 70s, they'd pay him $200 a day to come in and hand him. That's a lot of money back then.
$200
He said,
a
you
day.
got some material? And he'd say, yeah. He'd be saying, I guess I better go down there and ride a little bit. Said, they're coming after a while, and go down and write down about 4, 5, 6, 8 jokes, and do them $200.
Lord have mercy. That is a lot of money.
He said, they call him from the golf tournament in Nashville. Chet did.
Mm-hmm.
Chet said, Fred, we want you to come down and do us about 15, 20 minutes of comedy. I said, we're going, at the end of the golf tournament, I said, we're going to have a big dinner. He said, do us about 30 minutes. And Fred said, no, I don't know about that. Chet said he'd worked with Chet all them years. All them people. He said, David, you know I worked, that's my buddies. And said, I got to go down there. This was in the 70s. He said, I got to go down there and walk out there and try to entertain them people. And said, it'd just be like you walking out there picking a banjo for Earl Scruggs and a bunch of people. He said, I just feel so bad about it. I said, Fred, they love you.
Mm-hmm.
You make them all laugh.
That's the whole idea.
I said, on top of that, you're broke. They're paying you $200 plus your trip in your hotel room and feeding you and paying for your trip. Yeah, we was on Mr. Walker's show, you know, Cat Walker's show.
Yeah.
He's standing there. He's going to have to leave right then after the show to get dinner for at night. And I said, you better get with it, Fred. You know I'm dreading this. And I said, you ever think about that $200?
That's what you got to think about.
Oh, he's something else. But, when he walked, even Archie laughed at him. Everybody laughed at Fred.
Well, yeah, man. I can listen to him, hear his jokes 100 times and laugh every time I hear him. It's just the way he does it, I don't know, it's something about him. It's,
He was so funny. We worked together at the Coliseum, and we worked 7 nights a week. And when it came time for Red and Fred, see, we worked with Bono and Buster, and when it come time for Red and Fred, me and L.E., I started dressing. He says, don't go to the dressing room. Let's go out there. They kept us a bench on the front row, entertainers. Let's go out there and sit down and said, I want to watch Red and Fred. Said, I know everything they're going to say, and watch me start laughing when they say it. It's different. Yeah, it is. Night after night, several nights.
But it's still funny.
Let's go watch it. I want to laugh a little bit. Mm-mm.
Some people have that talent just like musicians have talent, you know.
I was going to tell you, I told this, I think, but I started laughing about this yesterday. I was sitting out there on the front porch in a swing. It's so pretty and warm. I'd been working some, and I sat there and got thinking about moving Fred from Sevierville down to my one of the apartments I had. And I've told it before probably, but it struck me funny again. I said, if you could saw it, he got down to, we loaded everything up, and it went in big old, great old big tall aluminum or metal trash cans. It's got the big old lid on it. You know what I'm talking about? One of the big old, 30 gallon and 50 gallon, I guess 50 gallon or something. And we put it on there. And when we did, he said, we had two of the sweetest, pretty cats I ever saw. And he said, you need to take these cats in there, Dave, and turn them loose around your barn and stuff. Said they're sweet, and they come up and was a petting them. And I don't know where we're going to haul them at when we got nothing to put them in. He said, we just put them in that barrel. We sit there and pull two cats down that barrel. And all the way from the barrel down the back of a truck, that thing rattled. Well, they was crazy when they got. It was an hour's drive,
You let them out, and there was.
I pulled up to Mama, and I said, Mama, I got you two cats. And she said, what kind are they? I said, they're girl cats. No, we don't know girl cats. I said, there'll be cats everywhere. No, I brought them cats up right. They don't do stuff like that. Well, I jerked the lid off. When I jerked the lid off, they flew out. They didn't jump out. They went airborne. We never ever saw them again.
They were gone.
They didn't even come back and say goodbye. I got thinking about that yesterday. Broke down, started laughing. That can rattle.
You rattled them all the way home.
They was brainwashed. I got that
brain damaged.
Mama didn't even get to see them. She said, well, where'd you go? I said, I don't know.
Gone.
But they'll come back to get hungry. They never did come back. I never even saw one of them.
Didn't you take a pig home in a barrel one time, too?
What was it?
A pig.
Oh, I sold them pigs. I had pigs in each barrel. Sold them. That's that time that guy looked down there and said, where's them pigs at? I said, they're in them 55-gallon drum. And he looked down there and said, I've heard of a pig in a poke, but never in a barrel.
That's it. Pig in a barrel.
I do all kinds of stuff. You remember, I come through South Clinton. I was out of a school bus. It was a private-owned company. I was out of a school bus, and I come through there, and I stopped, and this man said, I got something to give away. If you see anybody wants it. I said, what you got? He said, a pony. But good-sized pony. It wasn't anything little, just on up there. And I said, where you want one? So I'll give him to you. I just want rid of it. Said he's real gentle, and he was, and I paid him, and he had a howler on him. He said, how you going to take him home? I said, I was going to take him on this bus here. He walked up the steps. I didn't think about it. I was going to get him out because he couldn't turn around. Did
you take him out the back door?
I took him out the emergency door and had to back up to a bank so he could jump out on the bank. But that wasn't the part. The hauling and the back door wasn't the part. They cleaned that mess up
in the bus.
Boy, it's stuff I've done that nobody else would do, I guess. I pulled over here at Clinton Concrete one time. I probably told it, said, it on Saturday, and I called. I said, I need some more concrete. They said, well, David, we got concrete, but all the drivers are left. We can't get nobody to Monday, Saturday evening late. I said, can't you hire somebody and give them double? No. He said, baby, they leave you. They ain't coming back.
They ain't coming. Yeah, it's done.
We're lucky they get here then.
We're lucky they get here Monday.
I said, well, I've got a dump truck, I'll just go over and let you fill it up. And he said, well, you can't haul that no dump truck. And I said, yeah, make it just a little on the thick side so it won't splash out, you know. I said, quick as I get home, we'll throw the water to it and start, you know, soften it back up. And they put it 6 inches to the tailgate. Of course, that was a good dump bed. It's tight. It wouldn't leak out on the highway or nothing. He said, well, if you jerk it on the highway, you're going to be out there cleaning up a mess. I said, I ain't going to do no jerking now. I'm a bus driver. I drive nice. I went up that hill over yonder, and I looked, and he got right to the very top of that
He's
hill.
going up the hill. Forgot about that, didn't you?
I forgot about that. I went up that hill, and I looked in that mirror, and it right there, it didn't go over, but it like about an inch going over. You could knocked over nail, 10 feet nail through my fingers.
Yeah. He thought you was going to be making a new road.
And I got over, and that next hill I had to back up over. I turned around and backed it. The dashboard's up high, you know.
Uh-huh.
Ain't gonna fill this stuff all over the ground there. You're gonna need it. Let's build that bridge with, but that's something that some of the stuff we've done.
Necessity. You know, necessity is the mother of invention, you know.
Well, back then you had to do what you had to do with. You know?
Yeah, you had to use what you got.
Yeah, you couldn't just go out there and, well, I didn't have no money, no house, so I had to work it out. Say, how's it go? Show me at work, or I got to do it.
Yeah, figure it out
Right.
yourself.
Show me what you got to do. I was always real sincere about what I did, and I always tried to get the best person. When I wanted to learn something, I went to the top shelf every time.
Yep. Go to who
When I
knows
was a
it.
music boy, and I went to Lowell Blanchard.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows more about it than Lowell Blanchard. I
Nope.
know it.
No.
He told me everything, and listen, I did everything the man said, and it worked. He told me what
What
they
to
made
do?
him do that didn't work. He told me everything. I could say the whole speech anytime you want it, just like he told me, word for word. Because that's how interested I was when I was a kid. I mean, I was a young boy. I was just in my early 20s. maybe
I get it.
21 or 22 when I did that, built that. But then when I wanted to play music, I went, got around people like Red Rector and Marion Summers playing on Coal Mine Daughter. He lived up the street, up at the airplane service station. And I got, with Luke, I got the very best.
And the rest is history.
Stoneman, that's the best in the world.
Yeah.
And 4 people are.
Yeah.
And so it seemed like everything, but Daddy taught me that. Daddy said, now, David, you go to a place to learn something, don't hunt the janitor. You got to get to the top man. And then he said, be careful. Make sure if he starts telling you something, he's got the correct change to back it up with. He said, because if it don't, you might be getting hot air.
Yeah.
He went and said, pulled out some money and said, this is reality. And when it comes, it's off the hip, comes out of the mouth. It's hot air.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was good. It was good saying, and all of it was good thought. And I tried to practice what they said. I'll tell you, old people just fascinated me. I get around, when I was just a kid, I just loved to hear them talking about cutting bee trees and how they went coon hunting and fox hunting. And I said, I had to try a little of all of it, you know.
Well, yeah.
Cutting bee trees and stuff. And I can tell you exactly how they do them. I mean, you won't even get stung.
Yeah.
I mean, I know exactly how to do it. I cut several of them with a guy. He's an old man.
Yeah.
He's born in 1800, so he showed me a lot of stuff. He knows how to do stuff.
Wanted to go to business college, you went to Cass Walker.
Yeah, if you want. Well, I mean, you need to study what you want to do. You don't need to put a lot in your head that you're not going to do. You know, if you're not going to be a scientist, you don't need to study science that much. You need to study arithmetic.
Sure.
Arithmetic is counting, you know.
Yeah. I got you.
And,
Not Jethro County.
Like I told my English teacher one time in high school, when we get in front of class and repeat a poem and all that stuff, I said, well, I ain't going to do that. She said, well, you got to. I said, no, I ain't got to. I said, I don't need that. I'm at there digging a ditch. I ain't gonna be citing no poetry. I might be cussing.
I ain't no citing no poetry.
No poetry. Well, she was kind of on the slow side, and she'd give me an F. And me and a buddy of mine, we'd go up there and get her grade book out. She'd leave class, and we'd put a hump on it and make it a B out of it. She never knew the difference. I ain't kidding you.
There we go. Now we know how Howard got through school.
Yeah. He had B's.
That's right.
Lord.
We drove that politics are crazy, though. He'd sit on one side of the class, and I sit on the other. We're taking notes. We won't talk. We just start talking to each other. Class going on. She'd leave the room crying and carrying on.
I remember when I went to school, so many people got up to about the 4th, 5th grade, and they wouldn't go. They just wouldn't learn anything, and they'd put them in the back, and some of them would be maybe 4 years older than the rest of us. They'd be sitting on the back row, and they never did learn nothing. And I guess because most of them slept back there. This one guy slept for a long time. He'd sleep after Bell come after lunch. Well, he'd take him a nap. She'd make somebody wake him up. He'd be a big old tall, skinny boy. And she said, "It's been reported that you've been smoking out on the lawn at playtime. That you've been out there outside. You've been doing some smoking. You know it's prohibited. You cannot smoke out there." And she said she's going to try to embarrass him. Man, just what kind of tobacco do you smoke? He had that sack of tobacco he rolled his own. Mm-hmm. He yelled and said, "Bull darn." So she went and called his daddy. And his daddy lived, now I went to Claxton School. His daddy lived over right straight across the street from Easy Pond and some houses was there. You know, right below Ciderville. The next place below Ciderville. Mm-hmm. Straight across. And his daddy walked all the way from there to the school. Back in, you just had, Claxton, you had 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th bottom of the school. You go upstairs and you had 8, the other 4 up there, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And I was upstairs and I was on that side, and back in you had the windows up. You didn't have the air conditioner, nothing. It was in summertime, we're getting spring, and we had the big old windows up, and I was sitting right next to a window, and I looked away at there. Red Johnson, I saw that man walking. I knew who he was. I knew him and Dad too, because they're neighbors. Here he come walking. He walked straight in at the door where she said, and there he sat back there, asleep. He said, "Where's he at?" She said, "Right back yonder." And she went back there and he was sound asleep. His daddy shook him real good, gave him a good shaking. "Boy, you wake up here and learn something," he said. He bawled him out in front of everybody, shook him, and walked back out, and I sat there in that window and watched him walk plumb out of sight going back home. And before he got out of sight, that boy went to sleep again. I was a real backward kid. Back in, I'd watch him walk, and I'd look back, and I see him going dozing off. He walked about 3 miles there.
To wake him up.
Didn't do a bit of good. I remember that so funny. It's things that, and we named the teacher would name little old places where you lived. And over where we lived wasn't thought of as too classy. Mm-hmm. And she named it Greasy Spoon. David lives, I guess that'd be Greasy Spoon over where he is. I said, yeah. I mean, I ain't saying nothing. I was back, but I wouldn't even hardly say my name. And I wouldn't talk. And I guess I was saving up, but...
Evidently. You've made up for it.
What happened to him, Ron?
I reckon he's making up for lost time.
His wife is no different since I was a kid. We was teenagers. Mm-hmm. And she said, he was so quiet he wouldn't even say hello to you. I got
Nashville's calling.
Let me get this thing cut off. I didn't know Nashville's going to call. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Ron. You interview Howard a minute. Let me take this.
Okay, I'll talk to Howard for a minute.
Hey, Howard, you sit down here and you act right now. Don't you give me no blame.
You leaving Howard in charge, we're in trouble, I think. I don't know. I just can't.
Ain't one day of school I ever liked. I just like being in jail to me. I mean, I want to be outside doing something besides being in school.
Did you go to school to work on cars?
No.
Didn't go to be a mechanic or any of
I
that?
had a neighbor. He had a little 2-car mechanics garage. And, I hung around down there. Of course, he had some boys and stuff. We ran around together and hung out growing up. And I'd go down and hang around with him and stuff while he's working on them cars. And I'd help him wash his tools and pick them up and stuff like that. And I reckon just got in my blood. And I just like working on stuff like that. And
When you started working on diesel trucks and big trucks like that, they put you through classes and stuff?
1959.
Did they put you when you get, nowadays these mechanics, they go through training and classes and updating, I guess because it's computers and
job stuff. I didn't know Mac had them over for about 4 years. But I went to learn. I mean, I was
Sure.
That gentleman I just talking about, his one, he had a cousin worked up there at Mac's, and he comes and said, I got a neighbor, said he needs a job. Said, if I see him up there, you reckon you put him to work? He said, yeah, see him up here, we'll see, we'll talk to him. I went up and talked to him. They hired me, said, you know what, you used to be doing labor work, and that's right, it's fine.
Turning wrenches.
As long as I get a paycheck, I don't care.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've done. I just done springs and stuff like that, the hard work, pull out transmissions, rear ends, then somebody else will build them, I'd put them back in. Yeah. Finally, one of the top mechanics worked in that motor room, and he told that for me, he said, why don't you let Matt come in here and work with me? He said, and I'll show him how to build heads on these trucks. He said, well, if you want to. So he just kind of took me under his wing, taught me how to build motors. And I just went from there. And
did you do that?
I quit. I could work on any motor, transmission, rear ends, from front bumper to back bumper. I'd done it all.
So did you do that at the plant when you went to did you leave there and go to the plant?
No. Well, yeah, really, I left Kenworth. I worked at Kenworth and Peterbilt both. Yeah. And I left Kenworth and went to Oak Ridge.
Did you work on vehicles in Oak Ridge? Is that what you?
The Army for to work on those trucks that hauled that weapon components and top secret stuff.
All that stuff we don't have.
Right. But a boy that I'd worked with at Colonial Refrigerated, he called me one day at work and he said, Howard said, would you want a job over here at Oak Ridge? And I said, well, yeah, if I can get home. I talked to the big man and he said, if you could buy some crew clearance and everything, said, well, you'd argue.
They needed a mechanic.
Yeah. We did. It took about 3 months to get my Q clearance. But he recommended me and told me, said he'll work for these good mechanics, and he does it right. And so that's what they done.
How long did you stay out there turning wrenches?
21 years.
What's the hardest vehicle to work on?
They're pretty much all the same. I guess
it's different today.
I worked on them old coal trucks up there at Max because there's covered no tar and dirt and stuff. It's hard
to find them to work on.
That's all it was. But of course, I kind of learned when I got a little older how to work and pick up stuff. It wouldn't hurt me,
Mm-hmm. Is he back?
He's back, and I had to break. It was an emergency.
Did you close the deal?
It was an emergency. Yeah, it was a big deal, but it was also an emergency. I got him out.
Gonna get me out of jail.
Well, bless his heart.
Hey, bro.
You all right there, Sammy Sawyer?
Hey, so you're talking about Noah. You need to write this down.
I need to write it down.
You don't know where to come in at, do you?
No, let's say we're talking about education. You're we don't have that stuff, Howard.
Yeah, right.
That stuff is nowhere to be found. That weapons. No, Noah, man, he's a great talent. Great.
Oh, yeah.
And the little girl was with him.
Pull that mic toward you. See, is it on? Little flip switch toward you?
It is on.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but write this down if you want to know. This Sunday, I don't know what time the race starts at Bristol, but Noah's singing the national anthem at the race in Bristol this weekend. He is a friend. He's become real good friends with a guy by the name of.
Ain't on.
You need to pull this up. This guy is hilarious. His name is Justin.
Check that switch.
Justin Nunley. It's on. It's hitting on.
It ain't working.
It ain't working.
It ain't working. Oh, that's all right. I can get him. It's all right. I got him over here on the side.
Justin Nunley, he's funny. He's hilarious. But he's become real good friends with Noah and them, and he lives in Destin, Florida. But he is. David told me the other night his daddy, Karen's cousin,
now I got
said that he is. He said I'm gonna stay with Noah until he makes his first million. And the kid's phenomenal. And
he's got personality, got dog looks.
He's very humble, Been through a lot. Great testimony. His wife died back in 2020. Young kid. He's not old, but she got sick and died. But he's also really good friends. He told us the other night that my wife asked him. My wife never comes to any of the stuff we're doing. She come the other night because she's watched these videos of him. We watched a television show with him. But Gary Laveau, I think is the way it's pronounced. He's
from
the lead singer
Rascal Flatts. Yeah.
He was at his house Sunday, and they're friends, and so he's getting to hang out with a lot of neat people. David West, and some others.
Bernard
Rick Campbell.
And Rick don't count. He thinks he knows everything and thinks he can play everything.
Well, he does.
I know. I hate him.
That's the problem.
No, but Noah Peters, he is Justin Nunley. If you want to watch some videos of Noah, and his barbershop's in Polk County. You was talking about his barbershop.
Benton.
Yeah, Benton, down near Benton. It's in Polk County, a little out in the nowhere. I did a remote for a bank down there a few years ago, but I'm going to go down there and do a video. He said, I'll get the sheriff to come out here and we'll bring the escorts up and we'll do some videos with Barney in the chair at the barbershop. I said, well, I'll do whatever you want. But this kid's going to do well. And he's his brother, what's his name, Daniel?
Yeah.
Daniel, they all sing, harmonized great. And I was watching the people, and Don videoed some of it. I know you've probably seen some of the videos of it, but I loved David's expression. Just he's sitting there, and I know you soak it in, and you kind of gauge how everything's going. But I looked around at all those people sitting. I was watching them, and even the tip jar you had up there, people started getting up to come up there.
Oh yeah, tips went high.
They knew he was a real deal, and those people, the reception of those people sitting there eating, usually, and I can't do comedy when they're eating. I tell them people are like dogs. You mess with them while they're eating, they'll bite you. But I watched this Noah, and then was singing, and Noah was singing the lead. Wagon Wheel done a fantastic job on Wagon Wheel, and
Almost Heaven.
That's my son Hudson was there, and that's his favorite song. He loves Almost Heaven, and they did a great job on it. And Family Tradition, boy, he did a great job on Family Tradition, Hank Jr. song. But I watched those people, man. David, and I know you sitting up there, you could see them. It was like we raised at a bar here.
Changed it a little bit, changed up.
Yeah. See, he was at my house about a week before Christmas, maybe just a few days. They come out and stayed all day with us and bought a Martin.
He bought the HD 28, didn't he?
Yeah, and then one of them bought I believe a Gibson, and the other one.
Daniel wants. He said
got a banjo.
Well, Noah's wanting to learn the banjo.
Yeah, he took the banjo.
And David, his dad, was telling us he really would probably need. He's got a great range of how he can do vocals, but they said he needs to learn to play the piano. And on that show we watched. I Can See You Sing, or whatever it was, and he come out and he sang Easy by the Commodores, and done a fantastic job. So
he done that, what was that song he sung?
Broken,
he done a Millsap song in minor.
Oh yeah, he did.
Oh yeah. Some new guy got I can't think his name. Ron, I know if we could think of that song.
Yeah, now Danny did a good job on the Sunday Smoky Mountain Rain the other night.
Oh yeah.
He did a great job.
Oh, Danny's
top
full of talent.
Danny, he's unbelievable, I tell you.
He is. I think Noah appreciates the band.
in my I was going to do Stranger in My House.
That's a good one.
He said, well, David, I don't care to do it, but wait till we get a drummer, because it's got a drummer.
Well, we had a drummer, and he didn't show up.
I know it.
You know, we had a drummer. We had a drummer that was supposed to be there.
Well, I told David I wasn't going to be able to be there. I didn't get finished with, like, my doctor
We
stuff
get
get out
show,
till
though.
7 o'clock.
You'd loved it. You'd loved it. What doctor did you go to? Let's
Dr.
get real
Ty.
personal here.
Her name is Dr. Talk. It's a new doctor. It's the second time that I've been to see her. She takes a lot of time. I saw 4 people.
Yeah.
I literally saw 4 people Monday. I got there. Yeah, my appointment was like 4. I was there for 3 hours and 10 minutes, I guess.
Just a regular doctor appointment.
Mm-hmm.
I heard one the other day, David. I'm gonna butcher this one up, but I said as soon as I heard it, I thought, I wonder if Fred wrote that. This guy on a motorcycle riding, and he's out riding, and went around a bad curve, went down this embankment and wrecked. Bad wreck. And he crawled all the way up to the back of the side of the road there, see if this is a Fred one. Come up there, and he was scratched, skint all to pieces, and this really pretty, knockout-looking woman pulled up, saw him, and said, hey, get in the car here, and let me rush you to the hospital. He said, oh, Lord, no, my wife would not appreciate that. And she goes, well, let me take you down to a clinic or something, get you some help here. And he said, oh, Lord, no, my wife would not appreciate that. She said, well, let me take you over to my house, and I'll put some Band-Aids on you and try to help you a little bit. And he said, no, my wife would not appreciate that. And she said, I've heard enough about that wife of yours. Where in the world's your wife at? And she said, she's still down there in the ditch. He was going along with it, though. I thought of that. I heard that the other day, and I thought, man, I bet that's a Fred Smith joke.
Could be.
Yeah. The wife and marriage jokes are sometimes the best.
I know what that song was now, Daydreams About Night.
Oh, that's great.
There you go.
Yeah. He done a fantastic job.
You know, the prettiest music, if you're listening to it, There's a Stranger in My House. The kickoff is about, a minute long, ain't it?
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
That's the prettiest music you ever heard.
I think I told you the other day, we was eating, you guys, and I was telling you, I used to go, anytime Ronnie Millsaps was around, I'd go see. Brenda Lee was with him. Last time I saw him, Brenda Lee opened for him. But Ronnie he was a good show. He's a still great singer, showman, but he had like a board right at the edge of the stage, and he would walk all the way to the edge of the stage, and it scared people to death. You know, they thought, well, he's going to walk out into the audience. And if you don't know, he's blind. Yes. He would walk right up there to the edge, and you could tell he was taking his foot, and he would hit the edge of that 2x4, whatever it was there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And did a great show, but his vocals is so good.
Oh,
he's got such great vocals.
He writes good stuff, too.
He does.
I love hearing him and Dolly do that. Smoky Mountain Rain.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, they knock it out.
Yeah, absolutely, they do. That little girl that you was talking about, she sang Coat of Many Colors of Dolly's and did a really good job on it, and had to get a key change right in the middle of it and got them to go up on it. But
they played good for that group, didn't they? Never saw them before, never heard them.
Yeah,
they nailed every bit of it right to the wall.
That's what amazes me about you guys.
I think they changed their way of thinking when they got up and heard how good it was.
Yeah, they were.
See, band don't want. I don't know what they're going to do. Well, I'll tell you. Mm-hmm. You know, every one of them people ought to work on Cass Walker just a little while. Mm-hmm. You learn. Mm-hmm. You got to learn it's a job.
Yeah.
And you got to get up there and do it. When you was a Mr. Walker, you never did know what you was going to do.
Well, the thing about like the variety that you do with your shows is. That's the one thing I like variety.
I do too.
And so doing a concert, Noah, as good as he is, I think it's good that he was able to use another band and that you change up.
Give him 6 songs in a row.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, it's fantastic. But
I didn't give him too much or not enough because they give him a big hand. I started letting them encore, and it was just tearing the house down. But we didn't run 30 minutes over time. So
that's your time.
I told him
I had to leave, but
I told him I took that job. I said, the only thing I'm going to do, I can't do what you all want me to do. Yeah. We're not a hunky-punky band. I've got to do it the way it needs to be done.
Right.
I said, I might get to go over 5-10 minutes, under 5.
Right.
They says, won't you do it the way you want to do it? Boy, they never said a word to me.
I don't know how they...
He said, you do it as long as you want to and quit. You want to and take intermission. He said, Well, Turk said, you're the most professional band that's ever been on this stage. He said, you do it however you want to do it.
Well, they even complimented how well you did the band stuff. But how do they do it now? Instead of record sales, what is this? Where they download it? So
yeah, it's just okay. I mean they do it with they still do record sales, but they're 90% of the record sales are downloaded today.
Well, Noah has that Justin Nunley, and again, pull him up. You will laugh. This guy's great, but he wrote it's not the Jeff Foxworthy song that Tim Wilson wrote, the 12 Days of Redneck Christmas. Mm-hmm. It's their own version, but it's Noah Peters and Justin Nunley, mm-hmm. and it's about to go platinum. Which is 1 million downloads.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's good. It's a cute video. You can pull it up on YouTube or whatever. But as far as I guess they download it to iTunes, whatever it's called. I don't know.
I reckon all the Spotify, iTunes.
I know what that song was. Hey, Ron, who's got that song out? I hear it on Merle a lot. The Tennessee Whiskey.
Chris Stapleton.
They do it in minor, A minor or something.
Noah nailed it.
He nailed it, and them boys played it like.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, that fiddle that Rick would bring in, he's got that amp. It's really hot, ain't it? Yeah. Me and Howard can even hear it. Yeah. I can't hear. But
it made me want to get a kick on that, and I try not to pick much because when you have to MC and remember all them names, that's a lot of names to remember.
He did it the style of Chris Stapleton.
I never wrote anything down.
He did.
And this Noah did it that style. George and David Allen Cole did it a little bit. I don't know what for. I don't know what time it is, but anyway, they slow it down and a lot of soulsy, bluesy, and he'd ever note that there was, wasn't it?
Oh, exactly what Noah said about that little girl he had with him there on American Idol and said, better enjoy this next time you're going to be paying that year.
Yes, you won't be hearing her free for much longer. You won't be hearing him either. He's free. He's got.
His brother is a writer.
Yeah, I asked him.
In Nashville.
They're independent right now, but he said he'd like to sign with somebody. But they're down. They live in Cleveland, and then he's over in Benton and Polk County. He said, but David said Dave Peters said they would glad to come up here sometime this summer and try to do some radio when he gets through this stuff.
Yeah. He was talking, said that they sing while they cut your hair down there.
Oh,
in a barber shop in Benton.
Pull up the videos. He's got a little boy from England, London. I don't know where all these people are coming from, but there's videos on the Singing Barbara on YouTube and on the Facebook and Instagram. Pull these videos up. I'm gonna tell you, the talent is unbelievable. That he's got a little 14-year-old girl that comes in there and sings, and who's the real popular female singer? Lainey Wilson.
Yeah.
Something about a truck.
Mm-hmm. Heart like a truck.
Yeah, that girl. I'm telling you, I couldn't tell any difference between. She sang a Miranda Lambert song that was just. I mean, she's
spot on.
Oh my gosh! And he's got a boy in there. From London, England, that he had in there, little skinny thing, and man, his voice, it just did not match his body. I'm sitting there going, oh, this is just wow.
It's just something else. Talking about the girls, but we've got 3 girls, that sings with us.
Oh yeah, do a great job.
They're getting good. Everything they did, they nailed it right where it went.
Tara does a great job. Crystal and Mandy. When you have Mary, you've got a good lineup. Good lineup of folks. I mean, you got.
I love that Mandy. She's a sweetheart. She's just.
Well, she done her song good. All of her songs, and one of them's Crystal Gale.
Crystal Brooks.
Her name is Crystal Gale.
Yeah.
And then there's Tara Loretta.
Yeah.
And she done hers. She nailed it. Well, she can sing at Harper Valley PTA.
I've heard you advertising for Conway's grandson.
Yeah, Twitty and Lynn.
They're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, they're selling out all over the place. They're doing real good.
I heard the commercial, and the last part of the commercial is when the fire is cold as ashes. That's the sample of the song.
Is that right?
She sounds a lot like Loretta. He sounds like Conway, but she sounds a lot like Loretta.
Mm-hmm.
They're good. They're going to be at Country Tonight?
Country Tonight Theater. I think April, I can't remember right offhand.
But you said it was Michael Twitty?
No, it's his grandson.
Oh, okay.
It's his grandson, Cody Twitty. His name's Cody.
What's
Trey. His name's Trey Twitty. Trey Twitty.
It's just called Twitty Lynn?
Twitty Lynn. Her name is Tyler Lynn.
And it's Loretta's granddaughter?
Mm-hmm.
They're good.
Oh, yeah.
They're good.
Yep. His grandson, her granddaughter.
They ought to be. They got good genes.
Is Hank the Third, what's he doing now?
I haven't heard much from him in a while.
Well, they got a band in the house, but I saw them. They were real good.
Sheldon is very talented. Sheldon is out there, and it's a lot about show too with him.
I've never seen him.
He's it's not a family show.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you somebody else has got a band that really knocks it out too. That's Davey Vincent.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Man,
We did those. We had them last year up at Country Tonight. They're good.
Yeah.
Do you know Jeff Parker? Have you ever done anything with Jeff Parker? He used to play with Daly and Vincent. I think he's back playing with them now, but he did some solo stuff. Great voice, great picker too. But Jeff Parker's his name. And
The first time I saw Jim Daly, he was with
Ricky Skaggs.
Appalachian.
Was he with Ricky Skaggs?
No.
Vincent used to be with
He was with the guy that plays the man in
Doyle Lawson.
Doyle Lawson, Quicksilver.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's the first time I seen him.
Yeah. That's the amazing thing about Doyle Lawson. His bands, you could put the all-star. I mean, Steve Gully used to, back in the probably late 80s, early 90s, remember Steve was with him. And they had like all-star bands, those guys.
Oh.
There's a guy up, and he was at Dollywood for a while. And, gosh, I just went blank on his name. As good a tenor voice as you've ever heard. Sang with Doyle Lawson for a long time. And last time I saw him, he was up at Dollywood singing. And I
They
think he
said
lives
that
up here.
Doyle works in boys, but they have to get it right.
You can tell he does because they get it right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Authentic Unlimited is the name of the group now. It's his band that when he retired from the road, Jerry Cole, he's from up here in Union County, does a really good job. He does a lot of the lead singing and stuff. But, yeah, it's a great – Dole's always had top-notch, and
Yeah.
they always dressed the part,
Doyle started
too.
out with Country Gentleman, didn't he?
Was that who it was? Okay, Del McCurry. Let's see, Del McCurry was with Bill Monroe, wasn't he? And,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the Virginia. Was it the Virginia Boys?
What Country Gentleman was good when they first come out way back on. They had all. Everybody they had got a band of their own now, I reckon.
Yeah. Look, that's, even Noah mentioned the other night, he's talking about they do country and other stuff, but that bluegrass is where, you think of the bluegrass pickers and singers, those guys are the real deal because they sound just like they do if you bought a CD or a cassette or 8-track years ago and you went and seen them live. They sound just like that. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing the great pickers that they are.
Yeah, they did that good song a cappella. Man, they knocked it out.
Well, that's my specialty, I do acapella.
Yeah.
I understand.
Me and you do. Our specialty is acapella with no words. We just sit back and we had a good time.
You just hum.
Yeah. Karen, we sitting there. Karen, we had what do we have? Eight seats saved. We got over early and got them some seats saved, and we filled it. I'll tell you one thing about David. You put to bring the crowd with them. I'm sure they appreciate it because they buy food.
Yeah.
Most of them will eat.
They come out of the night smiling, thanking me for the show.
Yeah.
Good like that.
Yeah. How did Creed like it?
Oh, Creed! Every time Creed, I'll tell you what. The best show I've ever saw in my life. This one guy, Red Rector, son, what did he say?
Oh, yeah.
He overplayed himself or something, didn't he?
I was going to tell you, did you tell him about Red's family being there? Red Rector's, was it his son and his daughter? Yeah, they were over there Monday night. Yeah, I never met him. He's a big, tall fella.
He wasn't going to come, but he come in.
Big, tall guy. I thought, well, where did he get that height?
He said, they asked him, what do you think about the show now? He said, David outdone himself tonight. Said he's outdone it.
What are you going to do next month?
I was thinking about, I got this guy.
It'd be a good time to retire.
I got this group, and they're pretty good.
Poker?
Their hit song right now is Froggy Moon Court.
Red Son said, talking about his daughter, said she's even taller than Daddy was.
Yeah, that's funny that the kids like that. I've got two sons, one's 6'5", one's 6'3", and I'm like, I don't know about this. I ain't very
See, I don't know who might be the best guest for next time. I have to figure it out somewhere. When I get right up the day before.
I'll tell you who I've got to talk to him. I'm talk to him this afternoon. But if you want for next week, he turns 90 next Friday. If you want, we'll bring Bill Williams next week.
Yeah, we need him.
And then maybe. We'll wait a few weeks.
Booking agents, who you book?
I don't book nobody. Shoot, I can't help myself. I'm out here peddling, selling insurance, trying to help people.
You may not be able to do much, but you are in charge.
No, I'm not. We're in trouble then.
You better take your job serious.
I take my job serious.
You know what, Mr. Walker did for poker, don't you?
Yeah. Hey, I was gonna, when we go to lunch, I'll show you a picture. This friends of mine sent me this picture. They bought, I don't know where they got them at. Some kind of a sale, but it's a White Stores bag with H&S green stamps in a picture frame, and they've got a Kaz Walker grocery bag, and what was the stamps that they used? CH. Okay, S&H and then CH.
That's crazy.
They've got, and they're in a frame. It's really neat looking.
Oh, you talking about Mr. Walker's?
No, this was whatever the stamps were.
Yeah, the stamps for which one you say now, Mr. Walker?
Mr. Walker.
Kaz Walker Stores.
CR.
CR. That's right.
S&H. Yeah. Was S&H White Store?
S&H was White Stores. Yeah. I'll show you this.
CR green stamps. I got boxes of they had things that over.
CR green stamps.
These people paid top dollar for theirs, so you have to.
I got one big sign that says S&H SH on the barn.
See if you can see this here, Dave.
CR green stamps.
I thought this good. This is what they put them up.
Displayed them in.
Yeah, they got them framed.
Mm-hmm.
And
that his logo, I believe, was on his T-shirt right there. Kind of.
Now, I don't know if those bags are from way back or where they got them.
I've got some of them.
They've got the bags and then the White Store.
CR green stamp right there. CR.
But that's what they used to put the groceries in before that plastic came along.
Yeah, they framed it up.
Ron, I give you one of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So those old paper bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when we solved all the world's problems by going away from paper and going to plastic?
Uh-huh. Now plastic is the devil.
Dumbest thing. Well, have you seen the latest on the what they're going to do at Walmarts and Targets? They're going to charge you more to do self-checkout now because they're stealing people like blind. And what they do, I shouldn't give this away, but they have a card that has a barcode on it that's a lot cheaper than what your item is. And what they do when you go up there to scan it, they just hold that card underneath the product and it goes beep, and it'll be like 45 cents for whatever price the product is. And so they called it on to, they're losing so much money to self-checkout. Years ago, you would go to the grocery store, you go to Kaz Walker, where you got your foods bagged, they rung them up, they bagged them, and then they
carried them to the car.
And went to the car with you.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can't find nobody.
Oh, no.
Now they're going to start, they're looking to start charging us more.
For self-checkout.
Yeah. Sorry to get political here, but
and then
it's a political world we live
in big store, even like Food City, they close cashiers down, about 8 o'clock or something.
Yeah, if it's, you got to do self-checkout on some stuff, but it's a different world we live in.
I pulled up a few weeks ago, big old buggy full of groceries. I walked up and everything was closed, self-checkout. I pulled up there and I said, "Now, I tell you something, I don't know how to run that thing. I'm going to give you these groceries or somebody's going to ring them up." "Oh, I'll do. I'll ring them up for you."
Yeah.
I want to ring them up.
Is it paying cash, too? Cash is of the devil, too,
Cash.
Yeah, it's of the devil, too. They don't want you to use cash.
Yeah.
No. It's
They're going to quit taking that, too.
I was talking to
a lot of them are card only.
You
go to a UT sporting event, I think most of those are card only. They won't take cash.
Who's that?
Tennessee sporting events like Tennessee basketball or football.
Oh.
I think that is on some of the stuff I've seen where I just seen signs there last weekend that said card only.
They come down to card only.
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy the other day that he went to buy a piece of property. All the lawyers were there, everything, and they got ready to close, and he pulled out a bag. He had cash, and they were like, "Well, what are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm paying for it."
I don't know.
They wouldn't take it.
No.
Yeah.
Made him go back and get a cashier's check.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. It is.
They used to say cash is king. Evidently, he's losing the throne.
Well, I won't get into that part. I was going to say that, there's a certain judge in Georgia said her daddy told her to keep 6 months worth of cash in her house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they always said, keep a certain amount of cash at your house, which I know some people does. I don't have it.
I borrowed mine $2 from Harris if I need some.
But you think about that though. If something went down, well, like these phones, what was it, Verizon or AT&T?
Yeah, they went down last
2 or 3
week.
weeks ago. We lose these phones, we're in a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need a backup plan. I always have a backup plan. I got a little outbuilding. I've got about 6 cases of MREs and other stuff. My wife says, "What are you gonna do with that?"
I'm coming to Barney's house.
If something goes down, you're going to be glad I did. She goes, "I'm not eating that stuff."
I asked somebody here not too long ago, I said, "What did you do before them old cell phones come out?" He looked at me and said, "What do you mean?" I said, "What'd you do before you got them cell phones?" "Well, I don't know." I said, "Could you sit down?" I said, "That phone automatically, sit and eat. They don't even need to sit there on that phone.
Play on their phone.
Every once in a while, they reach over and take a bite."
You need to, there's
So they
great
make
advice. I did
kids.
this is where I forget where I was at. It was a conference or something. But it's talking about the dinner table where we used to sit and eat. And you remember as a kid, I mean, we didn't have a whole lot, but we did sit down and eat together.
Yeah,
and we
right.
tried to do that, but they said the best thing you can do is take a bowl or some type of a box or something, and on your table, when you come to sit down to eat, have everybody put their phones in that, and don't pick them up. You eat, you talk, you converse.
Be good.
And in restaurants the same way, because I look at that too. I'll look around in restaurants and people be sitting there and they're, they very seldom will talk to you. And they're great tools. I mean, I think God invented them. They're great. There's like anything else. Everything's from God. It's a great tool, but we've misused it, and it's consumed us so much that we're so dependent upon it. And,
Don Bell says the Smokies are cashless too.
Yeah. So you see that it's kind of, I don't know. These people in charge, we ain't in charge. Or
Well, they
said I was in charge.
They can follow our electronic transactions without more than cash.
Oh, I'm telling you.
I was playing the circus. Shrine Circus, boy, that's a crowd, That's where they loaded with people. All up in them balconies and everywhere. And they turned the lights off. Well, when they did, I looked and said, "Oh, they turned the Christmas lights on. Look yonder." It was cell phones. That was cell phone. There must have been thousands of them.
Oh, yeah.
They do it at the Tennessee football and basketball. There's a app on the phones, and when they come out, it's synchronized to the music. And it's pretty impressive when they do that. But, we was talking about the cashless stuff. My wife worked for a few years. There was a little side job they had. Some neighbors of ours does it where they call it the money room. And they go in there, and the cash sales from the concessions, and they had the police officers in there and people that made you accounting there, that they would count. It was well over $1 million in cash that they would do. Now, if they go cashless, I guess it just makes it a lot better. But
they don't have to hold it, transfer it. It goes directly into the bank. You don't have to take it anywhere.
Yeah.
But the thing is, see, if you pay for something in cash, it's done, right?
That's right.
Now, if I pay for it with my credit card, there's a percentage, you know what I mean? There's a fee.
Yeah, the point of sale fee is.
And then when they transfer it to their bank, there's a fee. Yeah. So by the time it's said and done, you've accumulated a great deal of fees that you don't get during cash. So that's why the banks and stuff are pushing it. They get all the fees.
That's one of our services we offer where I work. I've never sold one, but
what is it?
Point of sale. Bill helps negotiate the interest rates on the fees for them. But
for credit card point of sale? Yeah.
I know David didn't use credit cards for years, did you, David?
Who, me?
Yeah.
We didn't have them in the store till 99.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, my wife has, when we do some events and sell some merchandise.
3 or 4%. She had to charge extra to cover that.
Well, they give you a special rate if I would take one, because we're doing that. We're doing a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
I find they give me a special rate to take it.
Yeah.
But we took in these people, these old farmer stuff. They bought Martin guitars and stuff with thousands of dollars worth of cash. They come there with it, and one guy came in one day. This is something. This poor old country boy. He come in. and he had jars full of money. Silver. He said, now I've got enough here to buy the HD 28 Martin. I thought that's $3,000 or something. He said, but I've been saving it all this time. And so I didn't know it, but Karen had bought me a machine.
Change machine?
Yeah. I didn't know it. And she said, I got you something for Christmas. Let me just go get it.
So you're putting it to use.
Yeah, it took a time to get it.
We sell T-shirts and hats and some other merchandise stuff. And my wife got this thing, and you plug it into your phone.
Yeah.
And they slide a card.
I've got one in my bag, yeah.
It's amazing. I was sitting there thinking, I said, boy, you talk about some devilish stuff going on. And then we wonder how they know if you even think a thought, you'll get all kind of ads on it.
My phone ain't like yours.
No, my phone's old. I've got an old phone.
Well, David's got
I got an old phone. You got a really old phone.
he got the flip phone.
That's what I wished. The best phone I ever had. If you ever have a show on here and have people call in, what was your favorite phone you ever had? Mine was a Palm Trio. Best phone I ever had. I have to go charge it every once in a while just so I can get my calendar stuff out of it. But it was just a phone. It wasn't a smartphone. It was a calendar and a phone.
I had a Motorola Q, and it wasn't a smartphone, but you could do a lot of stuff on it. I'll never forget I was talking to, it wasn't working one time, so I was talking to Verizon. I was going to get another one, and she said, Mr. Meredith, why don't you upgrade to an iPhone? And I said, because this phone will do everything I need it to do. She said, if you're from the dinosaur era. I was like, well, what would an iPhone do that this one won't? And then she began to tell me, and I was like, no.
Now you're an
really?
An Android.
I'm iPhone. Yeah.
I've got my oldest son, and he's a business wheeler dealer, and he swears by an Android.
A lot of people do.
And he uses a Google Chromecast. Well, I use an iPad for my work stuff. It's just easier to do. I'm not real tech savvy, so I'm all the time. In fact, down at Madison Insurance Group, they won't let me touch the computers or anybody's electronic devices because I mess them up.
Yep.
But but those are so handy. But nowadays, that'd be a great one. I'd like to get some input from some folks. They need to call you in someday and ask which is better. And I think it's just preference. But I would go back to a flip phone in a heartbeat if I didn't have to have these for work and stuff.
I get it.
Hey, wait, you get my age, it won't make any difference.
I'm getting there.
Mine either. I got one of them flip phones, and it's probably in my truck.
You don't even know where it is.
Do you remember your first cell phone?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I remember the old bag phone.
That's my first one. I had a bag and a big old heavy. The magnet was about this, and I had to roll the window down, stick it on top of the car, but it worked good. I was probably getting all kind of radiation down that bag, and then I got another one that was really thick. About this big, you held it to your head like this. I don't know what kind of radiation was. It's probably what's wrong with it. I think it made me lose my hair.
I'll tell you one thing. The first ones came out was handheld. And I believe the dictaphone made it. It was a wireless phone. Mm-hmm. It picked up for 1,000 feet.
Oh, really?
And I got that first. I was at this TV shop, and he had that little phone. I said, how's that work? He just said, well, it's high back in. I said, I want one of them because Soderville, 1,000 feet, I could fake and holler at me anymore. And so we had big speakers outside. That's where they got us to the phone. Right. We had them in the back and everywhere. She said, telephone, David. I could hear it all over the property. Right. And I'd go, I said, tell me just a minute because I'm up on the hill here. And then I got the dictaphone and that thing. You go, the way it rung, it was so funny.
Yeah. Was it like a mobile phone, or was it part of your regular phone?
It's a wireless cell phone.
Like a cordless phone. Okay.
I mean, cordless phone.
I got you, yeah.
Yeah, but you could answer it. I carried it coming two.
Yeah.
It just come one.
Yeah.
But you plugged it in with your store phone. And when they come in, if they called, they would hard to, I could just flip it on, and she'd hang hers up.
See, Mayberry had it the best. You just called Sarah.
she made sure everybody got the message.
You ought to do a show, and I'm sure you've probably done it before, but how many people ever had a party line? That was the funnest thing we ever had growing up.
Oh, yeah.
My mama, her number was 457.
Everybody had a party phone to start with.
Well, I was 494, and Mama's was 457. And so I loved going down to Mama's. I'd go in there and they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'd get me a chair and stand there and had a wall phone there." And I sat there. I just listen in on what's
on the party phone.
And they'd be, "Maybe it's what you fixing for supper tonight, honey." "I don't know what you fixing." I'm sitting there going, it's like him women with the feet.
What did you do? Pick out where you're going to go for supper?
Mama, we're going to Mavis's.
Sometimes there's 3 and 4 different families on that one line.
Hey, you have to wait now. Okay, that's like a
Hey, Ron, get you here. I'm fixing hamburgers, Barney. Leave the mustard off of my...
Oh, sorry.
Oops.
Yeah. Well, you think about where we come from.
My dad was calling, trying to get a hold of a doctor for a nephew, real bad sick. Of course, 2 of my neighbors was on the phone, 2 young men. And Dad asked, of course, we know it. I mean, they know who he was. They said, "Would you let me use the phone and call a doctor? You can use it when I get through with it." They said, "If I come down there, you'd be glad to let me have that phone." He went to work the next day. Of course, he worked at one company. He went to one company the next day. He said, "Put me on a straight line today, or you can come down here and get that phone, because I'm going to throw it right through the office."
Yeah.
They put him on a straight line, because they know if he didn't have a phone, they couldn't get a hold of him. Because every time something happened, they called him and had to go work.
Well, probably, I don't know what the percentage would be right now, but you think about how many people has a landline at their house anymore. Businesses probably still have to have them, but you know, we've not had we have not had a landline in years. And
we still got one.
This is a true story. Now, this happened in Bristol. Joe Morrell got me in the music business. Tell me about this old boy. This man apparently is old, and they put him in a phone, and he didn't know how to use it. No how. I was way back there, and said he had to call the operator, get long distance and all that stuff, and said, "Oh, he was trying to get somebody, and everything he done was wrong." And finally, they was giving him, I guess, kind of a hard time on the phone. He said, "Woman, you take that phone and shove it where the sun don't shine," you know. He said that.
He didn't say that.
He said plain letters, and Joe told me, he said, I said, what did they do about that? He said, "Well, they called him up." And he said, "Are you the man that told the operator to stick the phone where the sun don't shine?" He said, "Yes, I told her." He said, "Well," said, "you're either going to apologize or," said, "we're going to come get your phone." And he said, "Well, send her to my house and I'll apologize." So she went there, and he said, "Are you the woman that I said told you where to put the phone?" She said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, here it is."
That's good.
That's a true story. I don't mean it. I just one guy too. He gave him the phone, his first phone. Garfield was telling me about it, and he wanted to be up to date on things, and said he was working on his car, and he was real busy. He didn't want to talk to nobody. His wife said, Bill, come here just a minute." Said, "Telephone." He said, "Well, ask him, is it reportment?" He's going to say a big word, you know.
Yeah.
Is it reportment? Said, "I'm working on the car."
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah.
That's like Archie Campbell, wasn't it? This guy come when he was playing doctor on there, said, "There were bells ringing in my ears." Said, "Sounds like telephone." He said, "Get you unlisted ear."
I know it always goes through every night when I lay down. I wake up in the morning, I hear it ringing.
Yeah.
I went to the doctor. I don't know what all they did, an MRI. I was in that tunnel for 45 minutes back in the fall, November. And I've got a little bit of hearing loss in my left ear. And they said, "The only thing that'll correct it is a hearing aid." And I'm like, "Man, I don't want to wear a hearing aid yet." And I said, "Well, do you like the ringing?" I said, "Not much." I said, "Well, get used to it then."
That's going to do it.
Y'all going to get this step where you're going to have to do this or die. Swell something or whatever happens, you know, you got to. We'll watch it and hope it don't get no worse.
Yeah.
One thing hits you, other thing hurts you, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I wrote a song and thought these people were going to cut it called I'm an iPhone junkie. I'm on it most all the time. I can call the world over and don't even have to put in a dime, you know.
Yeah.
It was a good song. I need to get that out, get that back up.
Well, long distance charges now, you know, that you don't even have those.
And I had one text, what the heck? I could text while I eat. It is a real good song.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Now, you
I wrote
don't
one for the
text.
doctor the other day.
You don't text.
No, I don't cuss. I never did cuss in my life.
Yeah. Okay.
Never did cuss, never did drink, never did
Never did
smoke.
lie either, did you?
No.
never did lie.
Hey, I have never smoked a cigarette in my whole life.
That's a great thing.
I never drank a can of beer in my whole life. Now, one time, I had a kidney stone, buddy. It hurt. Karen was telling Mike West about it this week.
Yeah.
We was talking about drinking. I just didn't like it. Wasn't it? I was against it. I don't even drink milk. I don't like it. I had milk cows and goats, and I got so sick of milk. I don't ever want no more milk. But anyhow, this doctor is, works for your kidney stones, big old doctor, and he said, you know what I think? If you just get you a 6-pack and drink a bunch of beer, it'd probably wash that out of her. And so he said, we're going to give you a glass of Coors or something they had there. They poured it in a water glass. And of course, I couldn't stand to taste it. I turned it up. Look here, you can't say I drunk.
Yeah.
I turned that whole glass up because I was holding my breath. I got it all down. And just quick as I got it down, it hit my stomach. It come out like it went all across. And then he stay in there. Karen said they didn't give him no more beer. But I still had kidney stone. Well, them things hurts too.
Never had one, but I've got some friends of mine's had them. They said it's awful. Worst pain they've ever had, apparently. So.
Oh, bad. We're doing a big show with some of the Stonemans and Bongo and Buster and all. Me and Luke, they done a movie on us back in those days with Bongo and Buster and a lot of people I picked with. And we got up there, and I had to tackle them things. I finally was at the restaurant. I thought I was going to die. I said, I don't think I can even go out there. But once you pass them, you're okay. You feel like $1 million as long as that's what you did. And I went in there, and I felt that thing coming down and took 2 of them out of it. Two of them come out, and I put them in something, brought them back home. But I got up there and done the show, and I was okay. But, man, it was... You get out on the road and get them, man. You think going down. I remember the first one I had, they took me to Oak Ridge Hospital. Karen's taking me to Oak Ridge. I said, stop. I'm just going to get out and start running. I just going to run. Anything. You can't stand the pain.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you just about somebody shoot you or something.
That's my allergies, I'm allergic to pain. Can't stand it.
You don't know kidney stone.
No, that's my
The 2
allergy.
things you better not do, they say, is have a kidney stone or a baby.
Yeah.
So be careful of both of them.
Yikes.
I run down and said, you pass the football. He said, good about the sport.
That's right. That is right.
And that's Fred Smith with it.
Yeah.
He was taking some pills, drinking some alcohol, and he said, can you pass him? He said, shoot, this stuff here, I can pass a Greyhound bus.
That's good.
Oh, Fred, he's something. You would have loved him, Barney, if you got to travel with him. You walk into a barber shop, say, how you doing? Could you give me an estimate on my hair? Estimate,
Yeah, I told Noah the other night. I asked him about what do you think. He goes, not much to do with that. He didn't think it had much to do with it.
Yeah, he looked at me and he said, well, you got good hair.
Yeah. How come barbers always have really good hair? He got a big head of hair.
Yeah.
I'd probably not be a good barber, would I?
Your son ain't no slouch.
No, he got a good head. All
got a good head.
4 of mine's got good hair. No, it worries me.
This old gal walked up one time and said, you know me, Fred? He said, no, but your breath's familiar.
Did you say breath?
Breath.
Your breath is familiar. We was doing a big show, Carlisle and all those, and he walked out, and he was pretty high that night, and he got saying a few words that didn't fit with that crowd. But this woman was heckling him. And he said, woman, if I want you to stink, I'll stir you. He was at Bill Carlisle said, he's the funniest thing I ever saw. Look at him, he's getting a little on. He's been working with Boots Randolph too long, so he's on for this kind of crowd.
He's talking about him not being, he's kind of, he wasn't bashful or wasn't confident enough about himself. That's a lot of people that are entertainers and stuff. They're harder on themselves. Yeah.
He told me one time that David me and you are our two worst critics on our
show.
Yeah,
most entertainers are. Some are not.
Yeah.
But most.
Oh yeah. You think Marshall Randy might not be?
I don't know.
It tickled me. We go over to Lucas, start playing the instrumental.
Yeah.
And Marshall will sing it. You listen, Marshall? Yeah. Marshall would sing it. Luke says, singing fool, lady.
I had lunch with Bill Shannon and Ken Bonham Tuesday, and I'd been wanting to see Ken. I hadn't seen him, or Bill. I hadn't seen him in a while. I was talking to Ken about it and stuff. And I reckon Marshall's doing okay, isn't he?
I think so.
He's just not doing his shows anymore.
He's 90, ain't he?
Yeah, I think he. I don't know.
90 or 91.
I think he's over that.
Over it.
But anyway, he.
Well, see, I
running reruns on that every week.
I didn't know Marshall wore a toupee for
Did he?
a long time.
I'm again those. But I'm softening up to him. I might get me one.
Somebody told me, said something about his rug, and I said, what are you talking about? And he said, his rug. And I said, what rug? He said, he pulled his head, You didn't know that? And I said, no, I thought that is real stuff,
Yeah.
Oh man, he's a good note, but he's saying anything. And Luke said he sung everything and I except Wipe Out, and I'm thinking he's gonna do that. So I told him when Luke plays Wipe Out next time, please sing Don't Sweet a Sherman. It's too bad to tell, but too good to keep. Back in the old days, we'd sit around in a gym. Before showtime, you usually played in the gym, but you'd be behind the curtains. And everybody was sitting there, and Scotty Stoneman, if you broke wind or had gas, he called it hiney burps. I was going to talk about them hiney burps, and jokes. Somebody, I don't guess they meant to, but one of them come out, and it was smelling pretty loud, and Fred jumped up and said, oh, Lord. It wasn't him that done it. There's another old boy sitting there. That boy said, I'd run too if I was you and did a thing like that. Fed off on old Fred. We had so much fun on the road. I tell you, my life has just really it's been great to get to work with the forerunners of the music and see how they thought and what they talked about. It's just, you can never believe it.
Yeah. You hardly a day go by some kind of reference either on social media or something to Kaz Walker that you see that.
I mean, to get to be with him like I was, traveling miles and miles and miles. Yeah. He told me stories every day about stuff he done. It's educational. I mean, how he invented stuff and come up with stuff. He invented that stuff like where the soup comes down, you take a can out, more of it comes down, and invent them racks.
Wonder what he would think about self-checkout and all this other stuff.
Well, he didn't like self-service gas. I guess he would never hit it. That'd be his.
Did he have gas in his stores?
When he went in his gas station, I think I told it. When this gas station, it just went to self-service, and this boy told me, he said, Mr. Walker used to gas up here, said, he don't come here anymore, said, he pulled up and said, I looked at her and said, he put the nozzle in, he took it out, and he looked, and he done this, and said, took the emotion for me. So I went there, and he said, I don't know what I've done. Said, how much gas did I put in? He said, 9 cents. 9 cents. He said, here, take this down. Keep the change. I may buy this place and put some help in here. No, he didn't. He'd say, boy, I wish he'd get on cars where they put gas in the eyedropper.
You have to appreciate, the different things you grew up with and those that have missed out on stuff like that, like somebody coming out to put your gas in and just different things. I mean, every generation has that before you sound like your dad or your papa saying, boy, you don't know what we went through growing up.
Did you ever meet him much? Or?
I met him a couple times.
What do you think? That's what you thought about him.
Kaz Walker? Oh, I loved him. I loved him. I thought he's genius. I think my story that I have that meeting him was with Dan Quayle at the Hyatt Regency at this event we were at, and he was at the table next to me, and I was sitting there with 10 people, me and my wife, and 8 other people that I didn't know, but they were from out of state, and they come in, he sat down at the table beside us. It was a big, dignified dinner. Somebody paid for ours. I wasn't paying. It was like $1,000 a plate, and we didn't pay for it. But all of a sudden, you could hear him talking over there, and these people were real rude. They kind of looked and said, "Who's that over there?" I knew it was Kaz, and I told him, I said, "You ever heard Dolly Parton and some of these other singers?" And I said, "He's probably got more money than this whole room put together."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh my goodness!" And then when Dan Quayle got to come up there to speak, they introduced him, and he got quiet. Everything got quiet, and all of a sudden you hear Kaz go, "I think he's a good one." That's all he said. And you could hear him. I mean, it was loud.
Oh, we'd do that at church. We'd be sitting there in church. Boy, that group's good, ain't they?
Yeah.
You drinking none come out. I believe that group's better than that other group, ain't they?
Oh, yeah.
You hear it all over the church. Everybody's life.
That's funny. Yeah.
We were playing this big place. We wasn't playing. I just took him to it. I wasn't even supposed to be on the show. And they got up there and they hollered around. And he said, "David, get up there and MC this show." Said, "They don't even know what they're doing." I said, "Well, it ain't my show or yours either, Mr. Walker. Well, you got to get somebody up there." Excuse me. They come back through there and said, "David, get up here and MC it." And I did it.
Yeah. One thing about shows, if I had one word to describe a show to make it successful, you got to have flow. You got to have flow. No dead air. Have to have flow. And that's right. You have to have flow. You do a good job at that.
Well, thank you, Mark.
You do. You have to have that. I've sat, and you've probably done this too. All of us has probably done it. But you sit in an audience and you cringe. Somebody gets up to do something, and there's a lot of pause and delay, and you're waiting on somebody to kick it off, and that's difficult. It's hard for the audience. The audience gets uncomfortable.
The minute the MC says his last word, that guy needs to say, don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen too many professionals supposed to be, and they still do it.
What?
And walk up there and turn their back to the audience.
Yeah.
To me, it's always been disrespectful. It's a no.
Well, that's just part of the act. Huh?
If they walk up to the microphone and say, "Well, let's kick it off in A or B or whatever. I'm going to do this, and hit it."
Yeah.
Then that lead man is going to kick it off or whatever,
Well, the CMA has awards, or these award shows y'all go to. They have a category that's called Entertainer of the Year, and then they have another one that's male vocalist or something. There's a difference between being a singer, and some are great singers, but not necessarily great entertainers at the same time. So, there is a difference in that. So.
Yeah. I like what Chris Christopher said one time about the Gatlin Boys. He was MCing it was DJ convention back then.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Here's one of the hottest groups there is in country music today." He said, "Gatlin Boys, if you don't believe it, ask them."
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the most famous cowboy, Marshall Man. If you don't believe it, ask him.
I'll tell you, the one I worked with up there, Charlie Smith and those guys. Charlie reminded me so much of Larry Gatlin, his mannerisms and stuff, and he's good. That whole group is very talented up there. But gosh, I guess we better go. We got to go take the sheriff to eat, don't we?
Marshall can tell you some
Hey,
good
you realize
stories,
what
too.
time it is.
He tells you good stories about the stuff he done, and he said, "Now, some people call me a stage hog, and I guess I am."
He knows.
And I say, "Marshall, tell him about your first big show that you played for your wife." He says, "Our first date, so I went out on stage, he had them big cowboy boots on, and said, 'Buddy, I just want to impress her.' Said, I had me a song worked out so I could run out." And said, "But I did. I caught my toe in some of them chords. It took the whole set of drums down."
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
One went away, one went off stage, and the drummer just sat there and looked. He didn't hear nothing. He said he's sitting there holding sticks. It cleaned the whole set off.
Hey, you're talking about instruments real quick. I know you got to tell them about the store, but do you have any Gretsch White Falcons? Do you know what they are? It's the bigger body of a Gretsch. They're called White Falcons.
Yeah, I've sold a lot
There's
of
some
them.
new ones. They've got a new one out. I didn't know. They're pretty expensive.
Yeah, they're about 4,000 or 5,000.
I don't know. You got me a Gretsch. My oldest son, we bought lives up in that price range.
The list price on anything about 4,000 or 5,000.
Are they?
Yeah.
But they're bigger body style, aren't they? They're like a Les Paul, but they're bigger.
Yeah.
Is it bigger? How many of those you got?
Les Paul. They make it both ways.
Les Pauls?
No, Gretsch. Yeah, the Gretsch.
I've got one Gretsch. I've got one Gretsch and 2 Les Pauls.
Yeah, how many you got, Howard? Yeah.
I think the White Falcon is one of their best guitars.
It is. It's real. They've got a new one. I don't know if it's revised or what, but I seen them the other day. They were advertising for it, and my son, I bought that one. I don't know what that one I bought from you. The gold one. Boy, if you get it, go over to Ciderville and get one, because that's his favorite guitar he's got.
Which one is it?
That Gretsch. It's that gold.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Beautiful. You remember? It was beautiful. But,
Chet came up there and picked at Ciderville and didn't have no guitar. I said, let's go over and pick you out one. He picked out the Chet Atkins model and took over and played it. And the guy bought it. Just when Chet come off stage, he bought it.
Because Chet had played it?
Anthony Lay's daddy bought it for him.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, you talking about Anthony, Scott County. That's where I think David's wife's from Scott County. I think.
Is she?
I think she is. Yeah, I think she is.
Well, see, it's Karen's family.
Yeah, well, ask her about it, but David, Noah's mama, I think, is from David's wife and Noah's mom's. I think
she's
from
kin to David, is her.
Get a chance to pull those up.
Maybe that was her uncle's son, I think.
Yeah. Get a chance to pull that up Sunday.
Yeah, I'd be
watch the Bristol race.
That would be her uncle's son.
They're cousins.
Whatever that makes you.
Cousins.
First cousins, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First cousin.
I guess it is, yeah.
There you go.
I think I told Mike the other day, they keep saying, Mike West, David West, y'all kin? I said, yeah. His grandma was a grandma. My grandma was a grandma. It makes us cousins. Something like that.
I always ask folks when they come up and say, I think we're related to each other. I say, well, I don't know if we're kin or not. Do you have any money? And they say, yeah, I've got a lot of money. I say,
I'm kin.
Related. We're kin.
Yeah.
That's right.
He takes care of all them cars, them old antique cars. And
yeah.
One, we got a big pen built on that 42 and a big hog in the back. The other one, we got the goat in it. And we got this other new one, it's A model, it's nice. And we're going to put the big turkey in it. See, so you got to have, if you got a truck, you got to have some animals in it.
Oh, yeah.
My 42, it didn't have a big hog, but I had a barrels back on. We hauled pigs. We better get off here. Let's tell them about Doug. We're going to have a big show Saturday night.
Karaoke Friday, big show Saturday.
Yeah, karaoke Friday night, a big show Saturday night. And if you need a Martin guitar, you better rush over. We got them going. Martin guitars galore. I think we got 90-something in stock. So go to Ciderville and look for you a Martin guitar and some vendor stuff and all kinds of stuff in there. He's got
good. He's full.
Some of the best stuff. We got one David West banjo over to left. They only made 8 or 10 of them. I don't think they made a dozen. And it was made by that guy that come in here the other day and had the banjo picker boy that made those tone rings.
Mm-hmm.
Made the Spatial 20 tone ring. And we got something else that's kind of hard to get is a 5-string dobro, electric dobro, called the Dojo. But I guess till we see you next week, come see us at Ciderville, and we're open for a few show dates if you get married or divorced or maybe running from office or for it or something. I don't care. Just call us.
You'll pick for it, whatever the occasion. All right, we'll call it a day. Call it a week. We'll be back here next Thursday. What is next Thursday? Good Lord, it's always it's already the 14th of the month. It's crazy. All right, guys. Till next Thursday. You guys have a good one.
How's Big Mike doing, David? Talk to Big Mike. How's he doing?
Oh, Big Mike, we should dedicate.
Tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, call in tomorrow and ask your neighbor. Or email from our website. It's Ask Your Neighbor. Thanks for listening.